Crypto Kings and Queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie, aka Natoshi. On today's episode, I have our lovely Andy here. Welcome to my channel. How are you?
Nice introduction. Thank you very much for having me
Yeah.
on your channel, Natalie. I'm very excited and I'm doing absolutely great.
Let us just go in straight to the charts. I know you wanted to talk about BTC and the stock market, which I love because I'm looking at them myself. So please
Yeah,
share the screen and tell us what you see.
absolutely.
Before Andy does tell us what he sees on BTC and the stock market, you can also receive the best bonus available right now on BYBIT. Both me and Andy are using this platform, and you can receive a bonus up to $30,030 right now by using the link in my description down below the video. You'll also have it pinned in the corner. This is a leverage trading platform that you are only trading cryptocurrencies, whatever coin that you want to. BYBIT does have it for you. You have low fees while holding your positions for a longer time, and you have zero fees when it comes to the spot pairs. So for you to be able to have this bonus, you are just scrolling down to the description down below the video. You have the link directly connected to me right here, as you guys can see. I will also add it for you in the corner, but claim the best bonus available. This is of course also how you're supporting the channel. But now let us see what Andy does have for us.
We're just going to go through Bitcoin here. No lines, no nothing, no indicators, just talking about the actual structure of the market. We failed to break the last lower high, which was this $25,000 range over here. Basically, we can see, the massive downtrend on Bitcoin for the last few months or our entire 2022. And it was very important here the last couple of weeks to try and break this last lower high, as the price did not break here, okay, on Q3 and Q4 of 2022, did not make a lower low. It made a lower low here in November, December, as you can see, November here of 2022. And then right over here, we're kind of breaking here these lower highs, right, on the price action. But the real last lower high on the structure was 25,300, 25,200 approximately. We failed miserably to break this resistance. So right now we're having a pretty deep pullback. It is super important for me, in my opinion, to break above this level for this to be the bottom of the bear market. Okay, now this doesn't mean, of course, if we do break 25.2K and go to 30K, this doesn't mean that we are going to have a major big pullback during the rest of the year. But I would be pretty confident if we were to have that breakup above 25,200, I would say that the bottom is in if we were to have that breakout, because the entire structure of the bear market will be shifting into a bullish structure, right, for the next coming months. However, we failed miserably. We are still in a massive bear market. We haven't changed the structure. So we can just zoom in here on Bitcoin on the lower time frames, and I'm just going to talk about some major levels and some stuff that I've been talking about with my community as well. And it is quite important for the moment on the lower time frames to stay above 21,500. And I do know that you agree with this, Natalie, because you've been talking about this as well in your analysis, that this is an important level. You're just going to zoom out on the 4-hourly chart. I will explain some of these levels now in just one minute, but basically staying above this level over here of 21,500, 21,400 on the lower time frames here, such as the 4-hourly. This is kind of the last level to hold to continue here in this local uptrend that we've had here for the last few weeks. If we break this level, of course, we'll be creating a lower low right there, and the probabilities in creating a lower high here and continuing to the downside is just going to be very, very high. So, as long as we're above this level, I think, there is a possibility in getting a bounce. Of course, for me, this is a very, very hard trading zone for swing trading. I wouldn't just randomly long this level. I want to see the price going sideways, creating a kind of a double bottom and kind of failing to break down from this level to see, that the bears are actually losing steam and we could get an epic bounce from this level. Okay, so but we only just dropped here to this level just a couple of days ago. So it's still very, very soon for me to say, hey, this is going to get a bounce, because we're just kind of retesting the level right now the last couple of days. It's still very soon. I want to see exhaustion. I want to see a couple of tests and a couple of fake outs to say, hey, the bears are not managing to break down. We are likely to get that bounce. But on the other side, if we do get that massive breakdown here, you know, by the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, right, we could get a little retracement. If we do break down with a large amount of volume, for me, this is going to be a clear sign that we are, you know, lower levels are very, very likely. And of course, what would be the next big major support level? This was also discussed with you. You also agree on this, would be that $19,000 to $18,000 range, where we do have our next big major zone, where we have a lot of volatility on the market for the last few months, where we're getting supported, resistance. You know, the price action in between 21,400 and 18,500, the price action has moved very fast from these levels. So if we do break down from this range, you know, it's just very likely we're going to fall pretty fast with or without retracements. You know, these are the kind of the two big major levels that we're looking for. So breakdown 21,400 with high volume is just likely going to have that massive move to the downside to this range. I don't see anything stopping the price after breaking this zone. I want to be very cautious, of course, with fake outs, because if we try several attempts in breaking down here and fail, this, in my opinion, is just going to be a good long opportunity. But I want to see that fake out. I want to see the attempts in breaking down.
The overall, we're going sideways, and we've been talking about this a couple of times before when we've had collapse. How long do you think the sideways market will continue?
It's curious to see here, you know, Bitcoin on the weekly chart, for example. Okay, I'm going to just go on the logarithmic chart, just 1 second, to share with you that the timing, you know, from the bear market and going sideways, we're having some very, very similar timing from the last cycles. And of course, history doesn't need to repeat, but it's when the market starts to get exhausted and starts to go sideways. This is not going to go sideways forever. It's not going to go sideways for 2 years. You know, there is, I think we just got in between 1 to 2 months of sideways, maybe a little bit of a deeper correction. Going below $15,000 is a possibility, but that would be the last major drop in my personal opinion. As you can see, when you have this kind of bear market, this is 2014 to 2015. This right over here is 2018 to 2019. This right over here is 2021 to 2023 kind of thing, right? So, you know, there is a moment where when you start going sideways, as you can see right over here, that the market, it has to have some kind of big reversal after a few months. So your question basically, how long have we got to go sideways on the and slightly down, maybe potentially retesting 15,000, because that would still be sideways market, right? Testing below 15,000 would still be kind of sideways in this range for the last few months. I think there's 1, 2, maybe 3 months maximum before we start, you know, that potential bull market. Just after this drop that we've had a couple of days ago, of course, the market, when you usually have a major drop like this, you know, volatility goes down, right? Where we just go sideways and you just get into massive big range. Of course, I do expect a larger dead cat bounce, which would be, you know, from a major drop. The market needs to consolidate and needs to have, you know, a bigger of a retracement. But like I said, volume is indicating that the market is in control to the downside, right? When we see these spikes of volume in this downtrend, it's pretty clear that the market is right now, you know, moving down and the bears are in control. So any kind of dead cat bounce coming up to a major consolidation ranges, such as 22.8, 22.9 range, where we have been getting supported here, it's just very likely that a lower high is going to continue here, at least to come down to test the low range, right? The middle range. So I do expect this kind of movement in the next coming, you know, couple of days, maybe by the beginning of the week, you could get that relief rally. But this is not going to be bullish, in my personal opinion, especially if the volume is going to be very low. I think we're just going to create another lower high for a retest of the low range here. Now, the question is, will the test be a successful breakout, or will we create a double bottom? Well, this is what we don't really know till we see that price action. But what is very likely and has high probability that if we do get that bounce to 22.8, 22, you know, 23K levels, maybe with a bit of volatility, it's just highly probable that this is going to be a lower high before getting that retest of the lows. Because S&P 500 is looking, you know, very, very strange. Usually when stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes down as well. Stock market pumps, Bitcoin does usually go up as well. So what happened on Friday was stock market got a pretty decent pump, all right? S&P 500 I'm talking about here. We moved up about 3%, all right, in just a matter of 2 days in between Thursday and Friday, which is a pretty decent move for the S&P 500, of course. 3% on Bitcoin is nothing, but for S&P 500, it's a lot. So what we had on the stock market is we had a massive big pump, you know, during Thursday and Friday. And Bitcoin had a crash, which was pretty unusual, right? They usually go together, but they kind of decoupled on Thursday and Friday, Bitcoin going down, stock market going up. And I do see stock market getting a bit of a bounce here. As you can see, we have the lower high S&P 500, you know, resistance trend line turning into support. It's actually getting a bounce. And most of the volume traded in between 2022 and 2023, if I do get the VPVR, okay, it's an indicator that I use a lot. Most of that volume traded has been at 3,970 points. This is basically where we got that bounce on Thursday and Friday, okay, getting that massive bounce. I think there is a possibility that these highs on the stock market of 4,200 points can be hit as, you know, the local structure here for the last few months is creating higher lows. There is a possibility. If this does happen, we could see Bitcoin, you know, getting also holding this 21,500 that we were talking about and potentially getting that bounce. Okay, this is very important for Bitcoin to actually hold this level. If stock market is bullish, I think that we're not going to successfully break down this level. Not saying that we're not going to retest. I think a retest is very, very possible of this low again. But if stock market is bullish, sentiment is bullish for S&P 500 and NASDAQ and the general markets, I think, you know, we could hold the range and get that bounce if that were to be the case for the S&P 500.
Do you have anything else that you want to tell my community?
I do daily technical analysis. I also do live streams. To connect with the community, feel free to follow me. It's Andy Bitcoin Sensors. And guys, just stay safe with this crazy market if you're doing any trading.
You have the link to Andy's channel down below the video, also to his Twitter account, so you can follow him because he's amazing. So many people are coming to my streams and telling me that you taught them a lot. So make sure to follow Andy. Have a good day. Bye bye.